You're under arrest.
I'm under arrest.
They're just concerned because apparently individual matching your description has been doing this a lot at NASB locations.
Sir, I'm just recording. I didn't even speak to nobody.
I know, but they see you out here and they're concerned that you're possibly casing the place. Are you from Grandview?
I'm from Earth.
Earth?
Yeah, from this planet.
Do you have an ID on you real quick?
You need my ID?
We have detained you for a little bit, so we need to make a real quick record.
So hold on. This was good. So you just illegally detained me?
I didn't say that.
I exercise my rights, and I don't let anyone infringe on the rights.
We are out here on a suspicious activity call.
That's not a crime.
Every legal right
To ask for it. To ask for it.
identify you. There's case law. You need to
What
do
law
your
is it?
research.
I have rights to privacy, sir. I don't have to show my ID if I haven't committed a crime. I have to commit a crime first to have to show you my ID. How am I educating you on 17 years on this?
You're not educating me because you're incorrect. I'm going to arrest you at this point.
I'm not going to resist.
Okay. You're under arrest.
I'm under arrest.
Men are being arrested for going outside. Yeah, guys, that's the society we now live in. It's that bad for men, where men are facing arrest for going outside. Why are men facing arrest for simply going outside? And how is that going to affect men, women, and society going forward? Watch the end of the video to fully find out those answers. Today's video comes from the Timothy Ward channel. His channel will be linked in the description of the video so that you can go check him out and support him. Follow us on Rumble. If you want to learn about crypto, go and check us out via Angry's Crypto Academy, linked in the description of the video. And let's go ahead and jump into the next video.
You're under arrest. What's going on, man? Hey, we took a call saying that you might be sleeping out here.
No, I was laying down for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Laying on my back,
Oh, okay.
looking at the sky.
Okay. You got your ID with you?
No, I don't.
Okay. What's your name, ma'am?
Am I doing something illegal?
Well, we got called here for suspicious activity, so I got an idea.
Is that a misdemeanor or felony?
Huh?
Is that a misdemeanor or felony?
Is it a misdemeanor or a felony? Well, it could be a misdemeanor if you failure to identify yourself.
Well, unless I'm breaking a law, I'm not going to ID.
Okay, so you're choosing to get arrested instead of just giving me your name.
I'm choosing to not break a law, which I'm not doing.
And just to remind you guys, this man is being arrested for watching the sunrise in a park in front of his house.
Am I breaking the law?
By not giving me your identification, yes, you are.
That's not the way it
Yes,
works.
that's interference.
Are you detaining me or am I free to go?
No, you're being detained.
For what?
Because we're investigating
You
suspicious.
give me reasonable, articulate suspicion.
We got called here by a third party for an individual sleeping by the flagpole.
Okay.
You're the only person here by the flagpole.
Did you see me sleeping?
No, you just admitted to me that you were.
I never said anything about sleeping. I said I was laying on my back and I was looking at the sky.
Okay.
Is that illegal?
No, but we still got called here, so we got to investigate it.
Well, you call him back and you tell him that I wasn't sleeping.
Okay, so are you going to give me your name or
I'm
not?
not.
Okay, stand up, turn around. You're under arrest.
What's going on, everybody? Tim here, back with another video. And today I wanted to talk about the topic of men checking out of society. I've been seeing a lot of stories and vloggers and social media influencers talking about this. Apparently, men are checking out of society. Men are going their own way, doing their own things. A lot of the normal man stuff that men were expected to do, they're not doing anymore. And depending on who you listen to or who you talk to, it's a big deal and it might be the downfall of Western civilization. Some people are very concerned about it. These men checking out of society. And as I was doing my research and kind of, watching certain videos and things like that, I realized, oh, I'm one of these men they're super concerned about. I'm one of these men who is checked out of normal society. So I said, you know what, Tim? You need to do a video, talk about this, because they talking about you. Okay? So the first thing I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing I want to say is that I think I'm not alone in this. I think a lot of men will agree with me on this. I'm confused. Right now, as a man, I am confused as to what society wants from me. I think that might be why a lot of men are pulling back. For example, there was a time when as a man, you knew that the majority of society felt a man behaved in a certain way. You know what I mean?
What society wants from men right now is SLAVERY. All right. Society wants to basically ENSLAVE men and have men serve and obey a narcissistic MASTER indefinitely. This is what a matriarchy looks like.
There were just some things, and you may not have agreed with the societal norms, but you knew what they were. The man was a breadwinner. The man was a protector. The man was the head of the household. Things like that. Once again, you may not have agreed with that, but you knew that if you behaved in that manner, the majority of society would say,
they want men to go to work, say nothing to women, simply exist, and make the money, give the money to women, give the money to the state, and completely disappear from society and only be present when there's a catastrophe, when there's an emergency, when there's something that happens that men are needed for to come and save women, save society, save the state. When there's issues like, for example, something goes out, like there's an issue in the forest in California, and there are firefighters that are needed to come and step in, or or there's a issue with a bunch of people acting poorly and they need police officers to step in, or there's an electrical issue and they need electricians, or any of these jobs, or let's say a building basically goes down on its own and there are people who may have been in that building that need men to go and save everyone, or there's another country that's misbehaving and they need men to step up and handle that situation. That's only when they actually want men. Other than that, they don't want us showing our faces in society. They don't want us going to the grocery stores. They don't want to see us in the parks. They don't want us in society. And of course, women will basically go, where are all the men? We don't know. The men have just disappeared. We don't understand why they've disappeared. Oh, they damn well know why they disappeared. The reason why they put these videos online is because they want to make fun of men and mock men and shame men, because after shaming men and pushing men out of society, they now want they want to double down and punish men even further and gaslight them like they don't know why men have left. They told us to leave. Men walking away, a lot of men walking away are not leaving. They're not walking away from women. They are walking away from women who told them to leave them alone.
that's a real man doing what a man should do. Okay? Then time started to change. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But as time changed, those roles kind of went away. For example, the man being the breadwinner. There was a time man went to work, made money, came home, paid the bills. We got into economic times in the past 20, 30 years where now everybody has to go out, make money, come home, pay the bills.
Deputy Jamie Godey of the Columbia County Sheriff's Office stopped 61-year-old visually impaired veteran James Hodges while crossing the street after jury duty in Lake City, Florida. Mr. Hodges was carrying his cane, which he sometimes used to help him navigate while walking, in the back pocket of his jeans. And according to Deputy Godey, she initiated the stop because she believed it was a firearm.
Hi there.
Hey.
What's this in your back pocket? I just saw you walking it.
It's a navigational aid. What's the problem? You a tyrant?
Yeah, I am actually. What's your name and date of birth?
I don't have to give that unless
Yes, sir. I was investigating.
You have reasonable.
Do you want me to put you in handcuffs right now? Yes, sir, I do.
What is your suspicion?
It looked like you're carrying a gun in your back pocket. I'm stopping to make sure you're carrying it properly.
So this is where things get extremely interesting. Anyone with comments, guys, this is how bad society has become for men. He is not carrying a black object in his back pocket. Anyone can clearly see that it is a cane. But now they can, and let me tell you what will end up happening. She will go to court and she will basically be found not guilty of any wrongdoing, get a promotion, get a raise, and be complimented for her exceptional work. Because that's what I've told you, is that these individuals, they are not our friends, they are not civil, they're not serving society, they're serving the interest of the state. It is not their job to protect you. It is their job to protect the state and the interest of the state, which is not you. All right? It's not you. It's about control. So they hire people like this that will just follow orders and do crazy things like this of policing innocent people who are not doing anything wrong in society and getting you used to having no rights. So just like how companies are saying you will have to get used to owning nothing, get used to not owning games, you also need to, what their society is also saying at a greater whole is get used to having no rights. You will own nothing and be happy. You will have no rights and be happy. They tell you. All right. So we're heading into society where we will have no rights. We will own literally nothing. And then we are told to be happy. Right now, we're experiencing what they call de-dollarization, where the world is beginning to push back and walk away from using dollars around the world. I'm going to save that for another video. The most important thing you can do right now, as you can see that tyranny is becoming a thing, is to ensure that all of your money is not in the bank and that you have your money tucked away in crypto, because that is going to be the global currency, not just Bitcoin. There are many different coins out there. You need to learn about crypto. You need to learn how to decentralize. You need to learn how to use crypto to create a decentralized bank account. You need to learn how to make money using cryptocurrency. There are many jobs you can do where you will be paid in crypto to do specific tasks. There's tons of this stuff, and we have all of that over at Angry's Crypto Academy, where you can go and check that out. Guys, check out Angry's Crypto Academy, where we teach you how to buy, sell, and trade crypto. We offer courses like Introduction to the Staking Cryptocurrency course, Introduction to Mastering Cryptocurrency Wallets, Introduction to Buying Cryptocurrency for Beginners, Introduction to Day Trading Cryptocurrency for a Living. This is the most painless way to buy Bitcoins course, Introduction to Buying Bitcoins Anonymously and Through Secret Methods, Introduction to an Expat's Guide to Decentralized Banking and Off-the-Grid Living, Introduction to Cryptocurrency, the New Digital Frontier, and blueprints like the Crypto Freelancing Blueprint, Yield Farming Blueprint, the Expat's Crypto Blueprint, Escape the 9-to-5 Blueprint, How to Make Massive Profit Staking Cryptocurrency Blueprint, Cryptocurrency Wealth Blueprint, Crypto Trading for Dummies Blueprint, and more. The link is in the description of the video. Go check it out now.
Have you ensured that it's not a firearm?
No, you keep turning so I can't see it. You don't have to be to me.
Well, you're being one to me.
No, sir, I'm doing my job.
Am I detained?
Yeah, you are. What's your name and date of birth?
It does not matter.
Yes, sir, it does.
Do you have a crime?
Would you like me
Call
to
your
put you in here?
supervisor,
He's right
please.
here.
So notice he pulls it out. I would never have done that. He pulls it out and he shows her quite clearly, Miss, you can see that. And she obviously knew that it was not a firearm. Anyone with common sense could clearly see that it's a walking cane. They can see that it's not dangerous. She immediately also knows that she's dealing with a man who is visually impaired. He obviously does have some vision to some degree, but I can say, I can tell you right off the bat, I had a teacher when I was growing up and he was legally blind. And he basically kind of explained it to us. Like he's like, no, I'm legally blind. I'm like, you're legally blind, but you're talking to me just fine. Yeah, but I'm legally blind. I can't see very well, right? Like maybe like sometimes I don't know if it's like they just see almost like shadows or shapes, but they cannot. They are extremely visually impaired. And now here you have this woman stopping a man who is visually impaired, and and just because she feels like it. Oh, because it's just basically them exerting their authority and humiliating men in society. And then they wonder why men are walking away from society, completely retreating into video games. And even then, that's not enough, because now they're using companies to monitor men while they play games. The FBI is monitoring men while they play video games. They're monitoring voice chat because they're worried that, and there's already things in place, but now they want full control. They want to know what you're doing all the time. They want to control men. They want to control every aspect of your life. They do not want you to have any freedom. They want to control what you think. They want to control what you see. They want to control what you're able to do, whatever you're able to consume. The goal is to control men, because men are the only ones who can stop tyranny. And how do women operate? Women operate as agents of the state. All right, not all women, but most women operate as agents of the state. And in exchange for operating as agents of the state, they're rewarded with wealth, resources, and privileges. Women do not have power in Western society. They have privileges, okay? Power is something that is more absolute, that is not easily taken away from you. Privileges can be taken away instantly. And the privileges that women enjoy in Western society can be taken away instantly from them. Hence why men are dropping out of society actively and walking away. Women think that they're going to continue enjoying some incredible status. They don't comprehend that without men, you don't have a society. A society without its men is not a society. A society without its men is a wasteland.
So if your identity as a man is tied up in being the provider, it took a hit. A big psychological hit, because suddenly that's gone. Everybody's bringing home the bacon now. Even the kids, when they get a certain age, you got to get a job. We got bills. You know what I mean? So that kind of the ideal is the man as a breadwinner kind of went away. The man as the protector. We got into a time period where there's lots of movements where like women like, I don't need nobody to protect me. I'm an independent woman. I don't need nobody. I can do this on my own. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying if you were brought up feeling like a man should be the protector, and then suddenly the group you were supposed to protect says they don't need your protection, another hit. You know what I mean? Like, okay, all right, interesting. You know, man head of the household. The time came when a lot of women were like, we equal in this. Nobody's head, nobody's foot, like we equal in this. And I have to say, I personally agree with this. When I'm in a relationship, we're equal partners. There's no talk about who's upper. We're equal partners in this. That became more of the norm, right? So you have all these things that men were taught to believe is what men did.
Here's the thing. It doesn't exist like that anymore. You see, men are told that, oh, we're equal partners, but we're not equal partners, because men are basically told that they need to do this, 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 and everything else. This is gender roles exist for a reason, because we're not the same. Okay, we can have different arrangements in a relationship, but typically women are going to handle things like caregiving and nurturing. Men are going to handle things like providing and protecting. If the woman is going out there making her own money, and then in a relationship with a man, then she needs to provide equally in the relationship within reason. So for example, if I'm making 50,000 a year, you're making $50,000 a year, we're splitting the bills essentially equally down. We're splitting the bills equally. You're not going to go and have me spend all of my money to take care of you and subsidize you, and then you can put all of your money in the bank, and then your notion, the belief that you have is that because you have you have the kitty, that means that it's a trade. Like, okay, well, you have the kitty, so basically I'm basically paying to be in a relationship with you and paying for your presence. No, we're not going to play that game. If I wanted to pay to access kitty, I would see a professional. If I'm not going to see a professional, then you're going to pay for some stuff. You're going to pay for things in the relationship. You're going to act, and then also you're going to have a role in the relationship where, if I'm expected to be a protector, you're expected to be a nurturer. Okay. So if I'm going to protect you, you're going to be a nurturer. All right. You're going to bring peace. You're going to take care of the children. You're going to cook. You're going to clean. What am I going to do? If something is broken in the house, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to take out the trash. I'm going to do the heavy lifting because I'm the man. Unless you don't want that kind of arrangement, that's the arrangement that I'm looking for, by the way. And unless you don't want that kind of arrangement, then you're going to have to figure something else out. Because if I'm going to be doing if I'm going to be involved in the cooking and the cleaning and all of these other roles that traditionally the woman has done, okay, then you need to also fix some stuff. If the pipe is broken, you need to get under the sink and fix it. I don't know how to do that stuff. Not my problem. If the lawn needs to be mowed, you need to go and mow that damn lawn. What are you talking about? I don't want to break any nails. I don't want to mow lawns. That's what a man does. No, sweetie. You can't have it both ways. You want to be a modern woman married to a traditional man. Okay, so you want all the benefits of traditionalism, but you don't want any of the responsibilities of traditionalism. In other words, you want men to have responsibilities without authority, while you have privilege rights without responsibilities or accountability. That basically, a person who has responsibilities without authority. You want men to have responsibilities without authority. A person who has responsibilities without authority is an SLAVE. Okay? And you have to remember, you don't argue with a woman because they will gaslight you completely. They will continually tell you that that's not it, blah, blah. Because remember, we have two different operating systems. Men and women have different operating systems where like our coding is in different languages. All right. So while we are of the same species, our operating systems are so different that cognitively we could essentially be two different species, be two very distinct different species, because the way that we think is so different because we have such different operating systems. It's a sad reality, but it's something that has to be said that a lot of men don't own up to and don't recognize. Guys, this is one of the reasons why I like to tell you guys, you have to focus on yourselves and your own happiness. And guys, we actually have a community called Men Walking Away now. You can actually check it out by going to menwalkingaway.com. And I don't know why it took me so long to do this. A lot of hard work. But over in the Men Walking Away community, we have guides, we have courses. They're going to teach you everything, lots of things that you need to know about. And also I'm putting out articles upon articles, sharing the kinds of wisdom that I share on this channel in the articles. It's insane what I'm achieving over there. And it's linked in the description of the video. Don't miss out on the Men Walking Away community. Ready to take charge of your life? Join a dedicated space for men where you can learn how to reclaim your masculinity, travel the world on your terms, make money online, and attract the women you want. It's also a place to discuss whatever's on your mind. No judgment. Men Walking Away is the community to guide you toward the life you deserve. The community is linked in the description of the video. Join us.
That started to shift. Okay? But here's where it gets confusing. As men, over time, we start to say, okay, maybe I was brought up believing this, but if times are going to change, let's change with it. Okay, I no longer see myself as above you. We're equals. Like, these don't have to be specifically my roles. It could be, your roles as well.
They're just gaslighting us.
Let's switch it up. Nobody wants to be left behind. Let's switch it up. So I think men in general, we started to switch it up and change our viewpoints on like what a man does. But then like in recent years, people started switching back. Now you have a lot of women saying like, I need a man to take care of me. I need a high value man. I need a man who makes 6 figures. If you can't do that for me, you're not a real man.
So they're not switching it back. The thing is that what the social contract was broken. And while they said that they are modern women, they still want you to be a traditional man in everything that you do for them. In other words, they have to be allowed to do whatever they want to do and say whatever they want to say. And that's how it works, because they are because they are modern women. But just because they are modern women does not mean that you're allowed to be a modern man. That goes outside of the definition of what they are, what a man is supposed to be. So they basically want an obedient traditional man that does everything that a traditional man would do and then more, based on what they define a man as being and what a man is allowed to be. Because to be a man, you have to live up to the expectations of others, while to be a woman, you just have to identify.
I need a man who's going to be my protector. World's dangerous. I need a man who's going to protect me. If you can't do that, you're not a real man. I need a king. I need a head. I need a head of the household. Men are soft. Men are betas. Men are simps now. Ain't no real men out there. As men, we like, huh? Bro, like we was on that type time. We were on that type of time. Y'all said we shouldn't be on it. So we switched it up. Now y'all saying that's what you want. Like, come on, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what you want from me. You want this, you want that, you know what I mean? So of course men are pulling back. Of course men are pulling back. What do you want?
So what's she stopping for? For a walking stick. And it could look like a weapon. She asked you to present it, okay? Now she's asking me for ID. Okay. I don't need the ID unless there's reasonable articulated suspicion that I have committed a crime and committing a crime or about to do a crime. Sir, and her suspicion was that you were armed, okay? And she's asking you for your ID. Well, now she has verified that I am not armed. Okay. So there is no problem. You got your ID or not? I do have my ID, but you don't need it. Okay. Okay.
I don't know where his wallet is.
Where's your wallet at, sir?
Where's your wallet at, sir? So now they put him under arrest. You know what the strangest thing about all of this is? Why are they going for his wallet? That makes literally no sense. Y'all, this is so damn wild. So they're now placing this man under arrest. All right, he is under arrest. And what they're trying to do is they're saying, well, you know what? Because they know he's not dangerous. They see that he doesn't have a weapon. They have no reasonable suspicion. He's coming out of jury duty, y'all, jury duty. And so now they just decide that, well, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to handcuff you and take your wallet out of your pocket and identify you that way. And then from there, we can decide what we want to do. And it's your fault because you wouldn't give us ID. So now we had to do it the hard way. You don't have any rights. Guys, George Carlin told us this. He said, we have the illusion of freedom. That Bill of Rights, those are privileges that can be taken away at any time. Anytime. And the videos, I want you guys to notice that most, if not all of the videos that I've shown you so far, with the exception of Tim's video, have basically been white men, because this is happening more so to white men than black men. These types of stops happen predominantly to white men. Okay. But the media tells us that it's black. It's happening to these black men. And guys, it's happening to mostly white men. It's always only happened mostly to white men. White people have been pushed into this false sense of security. Like, oh, this is mainly just black people. Like, it's funny. Sometimes I'll see a video where a white person gets arrested for something, and they'll go, wait a minute, why am I getting arrested? I'm not black. And it's like, bro, it's the media that has basically, and some of y'all would think, wow, that is so racist. But the perception by the media is that it's only black people who are getting arrested. It's only black men who are predominantly being arrested. White men don't go through this. If you're a white man, you're perfect. Like, it's a white man's privilege. No, it's not. Do you know how many bikers have gone through things? Guys, you don't know how many white guys I know that have had it with the cops, that have had serious, the cops have not treated them very well. The cops have not treated them very well. I can't go into detail on it, but the cops have not treated them very well. It's all the media that is lying to us. All right? Statistically speaking, as an American, you have, as a man in America, you have a much greater chance of being deleted by a police officer if you are a white man than if you are a black man. Those are government statistics. Government statistics. We are lied to, and we've been lied to for so damn long. And the people who are predominantly doing this are 100% on the left. And they're not going to stop. Because why? This is how they maintain control. This is how they maintain control over us, by continually and indefinitely gaslighting us. Because if they're gaslighting us and they tell us this, they want us to keep on fighting with one another. And by fighting with one another, we're not basically focusing our attention on them, who are the ones who are doing all of this stuff, who are the ones who are creating all of the problems in society, the misery in society, the hardships in society. It's them.
I'm not like bashing women here, because women went through the same thing. Women went through the same thing. We told, you know what I mean? We told them, oh, you don't need a man, be independent, focus on your career so you don't ever need a man to take care of you. Fast forward, we like, oh, where's all the good submissive women at? You know what I mean? It's the same thing happened with women. The same thing happened with women. All the stuff we told them to do to switch up, they did it. All right, cool. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna do that. And now there's no good women anymore. Same thing happened with women. So I'm not bashing men. I'm not bashing women. I just think society's going through some weird stuff right now. and nobody really knows what they're supposed to be doing. It's crazy. It's crazy. And not to mention too, from a man's standpoint, a lot of the things that men were supposed to do, you know, start a family, have kids, as time has progressed, we're starting to realize that if we do those things and everything doesn't work out perfectly, we're screwed. If I marry somebody and we get divorced, I'm paying alimonies, I'm screwed. If we have kids together, then we separate, I'm paying child support, I'm screwed. So not only is it like, okay, am I still supposed to even really do these things? It's like, oh, if I do these things, I'm risking my entire future if it doesn't work out. If the two of us don't stay together forever, I'm screwed rest of my life. So it's no wonder that men are just like, you know what? I'm just going to do me. You know what I mean? It's no wonder a lot of the young guys are just like, man, I'm just going to work at Costco overnight, stay in my parents' basement, play video games, you know what I mean? All day long, eat chips and drink Mountain Dew. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's no wonder people are finding alternatives to the standard, you know what I mean? Just like immediately, you know, college, family, all that type. People find alternatives because like, it just doesn't seem like A, that's going to work for them, or B, like they don't even envision a scenario where like they know how to do, you know what I mean? If I don't even know how I'm expected to act in that scenario, why am I even going to go after it? Not to mention that even if I figure out how I'm supposed to act in it, if something goes wrong, I'm screwed. Like, why even do it? I think so many men and women are saying, why even do it? You know, not to mention, it's hard to, like, when it comes to like dating and relationships, it's hard to meet people. When you grown, where are you supposed to meet somebody? It's hard to meet people. So people just stop trying. People are tired. Like, I'm done with all this. Like, all this stuff that before was a lot easier to do. Now I'm not, why am I going to put myself out there? No, for what? For what? And if I do put myself out there, someone's going to say I'm doing it wrong. That's not what you're supposed to do. On the work front, a lot of people are saying men aren't wanting to work. Millions of men aren't working. I think more and more people, especially the younger generation, are just seeing that like this whole get a career, try to stay there forever. It's just not, it didn't work out for a lot of people. Some people it did, but a lot of people was like, A, I'm not interested in working like that, you know, and B, it doesn't always work out. So I think people are working, but differently, you know, a lot more people are working online, a lot more people starting businesses, a lot more people are working traditional jobs, but going from job to job, maybe taking time off. Like, things have changed. Things have changed. And I think deep down in our core, like, we all long for the days of family and community and strong societies, but I just think we don't know how to bring that back. So I think people are pulling back. I will say though, before I wrap this video up, I think my solution is you can't look to society to tell you how to behave as a man or as a woman.
Here's the thing. He's right about that. But at the same time, if you don't do what society says, then they throw you in jail. Then they punish you. In other words, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So you shouldn't be looking to society to decide how to be as a man, how to think as a man. But you have to be smart, and you have to understand the situation that you're in. You're in a society where they do not like you. Our society as a man does not like us. It does not like us. It does not want us, and it will punish us for simply existing. So we have to be extremely careful. We have to protect ourselves. And one of the best ways to do that is to basically just walk away from these societies. Walk away from these societies that do not like us. Walk away from these societies that are demonizing us. Walk away from these societies that are punishing us for our masculinity, for simply being men. You see, a lot of the time when they stop you as a man, what they're really trying to do is to also intimidate you. They want you to be obedient. They want to humiliate you, and they want to make you submit. They want to take your power away. They want to remind you that you don't actually have any rights. That's what they're out there for. They're not out there trying to uphold the law or to advocate for the citizen. They're not public servants. They're state servants. The concept of public servant, it makes you believe that they serve you. They do not serve you. They serve the interest of the state. And that's that's as far as it goes. It's a sad thing. Does that mean that we do not need law enforcement? No, absolutely. We 100% need law enforcement, but that doesn't mean you should trust it. You see, Gen X is a very interesting generation. What Gen Z does not respect authority. Gen Z does not respect authority. Gen X did not trust authority, but respected authority. There's a very, very big difference between Gen X and Gen Z. Gen Z is, I told you, Gen Z, they're going to be a generation of thieves and squatters. They're going to spend, many, if not most of them, will spend the majority of their lives in and out of prison. While when it comes to Gen Alpha, who are worse than Gen Z, many, if not most of them, will spend the majority of their lives in prison, incarcerated or institutionalized. Like these children don't really have a future. They don't really have a future like that, because the world is so much more difficult now than it was even 20 years ago. Because back then it was times weren't easy, but things didn't cost as much as they cost now, and we at least still had some optimism. Right now, the band-aid has basically been pulled off. We all know we're being screwed. We all know these companies have been taking advantage of us and using us. They don't care about us. We've just been making other people rich. We've been making the baby boomers rich. We made our college professors rich. We made the universities rich. We've been making everyone else rich, trading our time for the possibility of a stable future, or an easier future. Oh, I'm going to give away 4 years of my life, or 8 years of my life, or 10 years of my life to education and academia. But that means that I will then end up having, 20 or 30 years of an easier life, where I'm going to walk into campus and walk to these different fields, and now have these jobs waiting for me, so that I'll be handed $100,000 or $200,000 right out of college. No, what you end up with is $100,000 or $200,000 in student loan debt, unable to find a job in your field. And then once you're able to find something that's relatable to your field, you're really being paid somewhere more like between 35 and 50,000, depending on where you live, right? And you're not going to get that 50 right off the bat. You can work your way up to that 50. And but of course, they want you to have those degrees, and they're going to use you for those degrees and for that education. Explain that to me. It's a level of theft. It's a level of evil. But that's what the baby boomers did. The reason why we don't have the family unit is because of the baby boomers. I've come to understand that you're dealing with sociopaths. These people will never change. These are the people who say, if you wanted a family, you should have went and gotten your own. They destroyed the family unit. They destroyed their own families. They took their parents, tossed them into these terrible retirement homes, and then stole all of their stuff, sold off all of their property, and then and threw their kids out sometimes before they were even 18. While a lot of Gen Xers are like, well, I don't give a damn because I wanted to leave anyway. Listen to me, bro. Yes, our parents were horrible. Yes, we wanted to leave. But you're a fool if you think this is normal. Gen X was the first Gen X was the first generation to walk away. And as a result of that, I'm not better than them. I'm a Zennial. I idolize Gen X. Many of you guys hate the fact that I idolize Gen X. But I'll tell you right now, for you to have a stable society, for you to have for you to have a stable, functional society, you can't have men like angry. Like, when I say I'm not a bad man, I'm not a bad man. But when I say you can't have men like me, you can't have men who are just walking. You can't have men just like me. You cannot have a society of men like me. I work hard, I make money, I follow the law, I've never been arrested. On paper, I'm a stand-up citizen, but you can't have dudes like me who are walking away and have just turned their backs on society, more or less, that have completely, that do not want to have children, will never get married, have, like, this is, you cannot have, you cannot have a stable society without the family, a man who will not have children. You can't have men like me. I'm a man who wants, guys, I'm living under my rock. That's why I said the biggest problem with Gen X is that Gen X, we are under our rocks right now. All right. Like, I was so much miserable until I finally understood, oh, I'm not a part of the millennials. I'm a zennial. I'm a late Gen Xer. And all of the things that I went through and the horrible things that my parents did to me, that happened to Gen X. That was something that was a part of our generation. When I started in the workforce, there were no millennials there. It was only Gen X. When I went to college, it was Gen X. I went to high school with Gen X because I'm a part of the Gen X generation. I'm a Zennial, people born between 1977 through 1983. Oh, so wait a minute. I don't have to talk to anyone. Nope, you don't have to. Wait, so where are all the Gen Xers? They're living under their rock. You can live under the rock. You can live under a rock, and it's nice under there. You don't have to deal with anyone. But what if they won't leave me alone? You say, leave me alone and mess around, find out. If you won't leave me alone, then you're going to find out. And while I don't start fights, I will finish one. Really? That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. You just go, walk away and disappear. Find the rock, go onto the rock and enjoy yourself. Have a cold one, all right? Go enjoy yourself. I got to go now, buddy, though. I need to get back onto my rock. But you have fun with that. That's what ended up happening with me. That's what ended up happening with me. Gen X told me, no, 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 bro. Just go onto that rock. Go onto that rock over there, and everything is going to get better. And I went under the rock. And I'm like, I have this thing called the red pill rage. No, 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 that's not the red pill rage, sweetie. That's Gen X rage. We all have it. Many of us walk around feeling like we want to punch someone. That's just part of our upbringing, all right, and the era that we grew up with, and trauma and stuff. Yeah, don't worry about that. Just disappear from society, and everything will start to improve. Really, really, you can't have people like us. You cannot have people like Gen. You can. And granted, a lot of Gen Xers had kids, but many of them didn't, and many of them don't want to have anything to do with Gen Z at this point. They're like, all right, well, we raised you. You're pieces of crap. We're done. All right, go take care of your own kids, pay your own bills. We're gone. That's Gen X. All right. For you to have a functional society, you have to have a family unit. Gen X doesn't want to be bothered anymore. Gen X wants to be left the hell alone, and millennials, many of them cannot afford to have families, and they were raised by boomers. They were raised in an era where the family unit basically collapsed. There is no family unit anymore. There is no, we see the chaos in the African American community, but we don't acknowledge enough that the family unit has mostly eroded, heavily eroded in white communities. And you see that constantly. So many young white kids are growing up without fathers today. They started off with the black community. The programs worked so well with public assistance and so forth. They expanded it, and now you don't have fathers in the homes anymore. You'll end up with a situation where the woman will go and marry a man, and then she'll basically just use him for his utility. She'll divorce him, and then basically try to extract wealth and resources from him continually through the state, and public assistance. It's a cycle. It's a horrible cycle that we've seen. And I've said it already, like, don't expect things to improve anytime soon. But again, 100%, and I mean it when I say this, you cannot have a functional society without the family unit. And that's why I said you can't have men like Uncle Angry that have given up on the family unit, who have given up on the society, that basically just want to be left the hell alone. You have to actually have men who care. You have to actually have men who want to be there, who want to be fathers, who want to be engaged. A lot of men even men who do want those things, don't want to risk anything anymore. They don't want to they don't want to be stressed out. They don't want to risk losing their stuff. And So many guys are realizing that it's just more pleasurable to be alone. It's more pleasurable to stay home and play video games. It's more pleasurable to not go on dates and instead, invest that extra money into a nice gaming PC or buying stuff. Like, for example, guys, I was looking online. And I came across something. Like, I'm into PC gaming now. I'm just learning, and then learning some more. I'm thinking about actually developing my own game, which is pretty insane. Yes, I'm thinking I love visual novels, and a lot of people don't realize how popular visual novels are right now. And I'm actually thinking about developing a visual novel. Can't say if it'll actually happen, I don't know, but I'm very strongly thinking about creating my own visual novel and just funding it myself. And the thing is that I look at things like I was looking at like different graphics cards, like men love graphics cards. And I was looking at the B580, which just came out from Intel. It came out earlier this year. Either it was earlier this year or late last year. I think it was earlier this year. And the B580 is pretty much it's a beast. It's an incredible graphics card. Really, really great graphics card. You can get one for like $250. They try to like sell them for more, but they cost 250. And it absolutely blows away a lot of other GPUs. It blows away the 30 series, it blows away the 4060. It actually competes directly with the 4070. It's an insane value. And I'm like looking at it like, yeah, bro, I would rather spend $250 and pick up a new graphics card. Like, $250, I can pick up a brand new graphics card, or I can go on a date with a girl. Yeah, I'm gonna go and pick up the graphics card. I'm gonna pick up the new graphics card, and worst case scenario, I might just use it to mine some crypto. But I can use it. I can pick it up. I can play games. I can have fun with it, and I can even resell it for a ton of money because people are having a hard time getting them online. So I can have something pleasurable, or I can go and mess around with girls and then find out. Yeah, I'm gonna go and get the graphics card. And it's not just graphics cards. A lot of men will go and buy tools. A lot of men will we have there's all kinds of toys that men will go and get. It doesn't even have to be for me, it's a graphics card, or different kinds of tech. For some of you, it might be a guitar. Some of you will have like a million different guitars, and every guitar, like some of you are all like audiophiles, and it's all about the sound. It's all about the sound. And you might go and pick up different guitars, and that's just your thing. Or you might go and pick up different tools. Like, and like, for example, my laptop, my computer, my stuff, these are also tools for me. These are tools, right? I like to try out different microphones. Like, I have a bunch of different microphones. Some of my microphones cost $40. Some of my microphones cost like $100. I have a bunch of different microphones, right? But I don't go on dates. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have a wife, so I can invest that back into my business. But it's also really cool, you know. I like mid-range phones, and sometimes I can pick up a brand new mid-range phone, dirt cheap, right? 200, $250, $200, $300, and I can play with different technology, right? Why would I give that up for a woman? Why would I give that up for a relationship? Oh, you don't want to grow up. No, I don't want to give you my money. I don't want to give you my toys. I don't want to give you my time. My time is very valuable to me. I'm not going for what am I supposed to what for the prospect of possible physical intimacy? Get the heck out of here, dude. I'm not your SLAVE. You know, that's the mentality that I have right now. But like I said, first, for you to actually have a functional society, you have to have men who are willing to sacrifice, men who are willing to work long hours, men who are willing to provide for their families, men who are willing to be providers and protectors. And that's something that men are not going to do anymore. Men are not going to make sacrifices for people who are not making sacrifices for them. There were sacrifices that women had to make for their husbands, for their families, Today, women don't want it. Women will attack you if you say, what do you bring to the relationship? Because even though they're asking, what do you bring to the relationship? Because it's hypocrisy. They have nothing to offer. They say they're the relationship. They're not the relationship. Women are not the gatekeepers of the relationship. Men decide who gets married or not. Men are the deciders. Okay. Women are not the gatekeepers of the relationship. Women are not the gatekeepers of physical intimacy. People like to say that they are. They are not. Women are not the gatekeepers of society. Men are the gatekeepers of society. Men are the gatekeepers of physical intimacy. Men are the gatekeepers of of reproduction. All right, men are the gatekeepers of society. Men are the gatekeepers of prosperity. We are the gatekeepers of everything. Women are the gatekeepers of nothing whatsoever. If the man says no, women can't do anything. Okay, the man decides who he wants to be physically intimate with. What the problem is that, and the woman can decide whether or not she agrees. That's it. So who's deciding who? Guys, the woman has to wait until the man picks her. Women don't women don't get to just choose the man that they want. All right, they have to be chosen by that man. There's a saying like, choose women who choose you. And there's some truth to that, but you have to understand the woman still has to be chosen. It doesn't matter if she chooses you unless you first choose her. So if men are not going out into society and choosing women, women are done. Women have no one to turn to. They will now find themselves between a rock and a hard place. And all of this is because of the choices that they made. They wanted power, they wanted privileges without responsibilities, and now that's going to leave them with nothing at all. And of course, women have to be raised to choose reason over completely embracing only feelings. And if they have trouble with that, they have to understand that's what you have a man for, because men are more logical. So men will be able to use reason when a woman is struggling with reason. But women didn't learn these things. So they've been taught now to always believe their feelings. And one of the most dangerous things you can do is to just listen to your feelings instead of looking at the facts and choosing feelings over facts. Feelings over facts will destroy your life. It will absolutely destroy your life and destroy everything in it. And now women are going to end up, dealing with the fallout from it, dealing with the hardships from it, dealing with the consequences from it. And men honestly are not going to take it. Men are not going. Why would men look? Men are not looking back. The simps are broke right now. The simp economy is 100% in the toilet. It's 100% in the toilet. Why would anyone? Why would anyone want to get involved with that right now? The simps are getting tired of being taken advantage of. They're getting tired. They're becoming tired of being used. They're out here like, I'm tired. They're like, all right, because guys, simping ain't easy. People like, pimping ain't easy. Simping ain't easy, bro. Eventually, you keep on going until you don't exist anymore. Are you basically have to walk away at some point. And a lot of the simps are walking away. They don't have that kind of money anymore, and they're tired of suffering. They played the game, they lost. They lost, and now they're walking away. And while a lot of the Sims will never take any accountability for the choices and decisions that they've made, it doesn't change the fact that they are now basically now looking back and saying, "Yeah, I was like, I don't like it. I don't like what happened, and I'm done. I'm done." But again, guys, that's why I told you to go and check out the Men Walking Away community. It's a community of like-minded men. We've got courses over there. We've got guides. We've got, so many. We've got blueprints over there. You got to go and check them out. And it's a community where you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. The chat. We have a chat that's curated away. So you can go over to there and you can talk about anything. You can create new threads. So it's like a forum. It's like a virtual forum. You can create new threads. It's amazing. And you can find that at menwalkingaway.com. Don't miss out on the Men Walking Away community. Ready to take charge of your life? Join a dedicated space for men where you can learn how to reclaim your masculinity, travel the world on your terms, make money online, and attract the women you want. It's also a place to discuss whatever's on your mind. No judgment. Men Walking Away is the community to guide you toward the life you deserve. The community is linked in the description of the video. Join us.
I think within each of our own life, in our own relationships, in our own family, we have to get together, if it's just us, with ourselves and say, okay, what does a real man do in my opinion? And do that. If I'm in a relationship, I got to ask my spouse, ask my partner, you know what I mean? And you can take the gender up out of it. What do you need me to do in this relationship? What do you expect me to do in this relationship? And who do you expect me to be in this relationship? I'm going to do that. I'm going to be that. Here's what I'm looking for from you. Can you do that? Can you be that? Because if we look to society, it's just too many mixed signals. It's too confusing. And then when you throw on social media where anybody, myself included, can come on here and say whatever they want, like, you don't know who to listen to, who to trust, who to believe. I think it has to be internal, or it has to be within our family unit. Figure out within that what you're going to do, what you need to do. I don't think we can't just be like, oh, as a man, I'm gonna do this. No one knows what that is anymore. As a woman, I'm gonna do this. No one knows what that is anymore. Gender's really weird right now. I don't blame people for being like, I'm neither gender. I'm neither. I'm just me. You know what I mean? You can't come and tell them, hey, a real man doesn't do that. I'm not a man. A real woman doesn't do it. I'm not a woman. Like, they just like, leave me alone. Leave me out of this. You know what I mean? Respect to my they, them people. Shout out to y'all. Hey, you know what I mean? I think they got it figured out. But yeah, I think we have to figure it out for ourselves. The time may come back around where gender roles are ironed back out, and you know, we all can be like, okay, this is what expected of me. We do not live in those times. But I also think it's okay to just like, yeah, check out a, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing that says you have to do what society says do, or you know what I mean? Or that there has to be a
like I said, guys, these men aren't playing games. These men have realized that it's not worth it. That's why I said, like, you can't have dudes like Uncle Angry. Like, Uncle Angry is a good dude, but Uncle Angry has abandoned society. Society abandoned me first. But if you have dudes like me that have completely, like, we're just living under our damn rock, it's not coming. There's no hope or prospect. For example, guys, I tell y'all right now, no man should engage in monogamy. No man should engage in monogamy. It's a horrible concept, horrible idea. Only when monogamy is enforced, like, you know, only when monogamy is enforced can it possibly be something that is maintainable. But if you don't have enforced monogamy, and I remember Jordan Peterson talked about, like, I don't know if he called it enforced monogamy or if he called it enforced marriage. Enforced marriage is trash, but enforced monogamy, basically, where, you know, you cannot just go and cheat. You know, where basically you have to have things in place that prevent this type of thing in society, where monogamy is enforced on the side of the woman. Unless you have enforced monogamy, it doesn't work. It 100% does not work. There's nothing for men to gain. There's absolutely nothing for men to gain, and women, of course, you know, they'll basically continue to do whatever the hell that they want, and then claim to be victims along the way. The smartest thing for a man to do is to leave a society that does not want him, doesn't want him, doesn't like him, and is only going to continue to gaslight him. It's sad to say it, but it's true. It really is. And guys, I just wanted to just show you this very quickly. If you go over to Men Walking Away, I wanted you to just basically kind of have a glance at the website with me very quickly. So, you know, again, you can get over there by going, you can find it linked in the description of the video, but you can also go to menwalkingaway.com. And, you know, what I talked about, like some of the courses that we offer over here, we have Escape the Grind, Find Love and Freedom in Affordable Paradises. So for those of you that want to find a relationship and also want to be safe, we have a course on that. We have The Minimalist Man, How to Survive and Thrive Without a Job. We have Survive and Thrive Abroad, the Passport Bros course. And so that's the entire, that's massive right there. And then we also have How to Reclaim Your Masculinity and Confidence course. So for those of you that are struggling with that, then we also have blueprints. Some of our blueprints, we have one, The Dark Psychology of Women, a man's blueprint for winning in relationships and dating. Every single one of you guys should be lining up that has and taking this specific course, taking this blueprint. The blueprints are basically concise and to the point. And so while courses are more comprehensive, this is, guys, every single one of you, like I'm telling you, if you want to truly understand how women think and how to win, you need to take this blueprint. You have to check out that blueprint. And then we also have building your community as an expat man for those of you that go overseas. And we have another one, blueprint for men to make money online while living abroad as expats. So this is a blueprint that'll actually teach you how to make money online while you're living overseas. So we basically do all of the hard work for you, and we take feedback from the community. So if there's like something you guys don't know about, we can build an entire course or an entire blueprint based around that to help you guys. I mean, it's a massive community that we have set up here. We also have featured insights. For example, this is an article that we have up right now, The Coming Divide, Why Childless Single Women Face a Grim 2030. While let me click on this. While Men Quietly Prosper in Silence. That's a really good article. We have another one, The Game Has Changed, Why Men Are Walking Away into Virtual Worlds and What That Means for Everyone Else. I have another one, The Quiet Rebellion, Men Walking Away One Wallet at a Time. And then there's one on the soft guy era. So the soft guy era, Why Men Are Opting Out of Relationships and What It Means for Women. So we have a lot of value over there. Those are just some of the things, some of the articles, some of the courses that we have published, some of the blueprints. There's a lot of value over there for you guys. So if you want to go and check that out, go check that out. And like I said, it's a place where you can talk about anything, and I mean everything. When it comes to, for example, chat, when it comes to the chat, and it's like a forum. It's much more like an interactive forum. When it comes to that, you actually can you can basically go over there and talk with other men, talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about. You can create threads on anything, threads on playing the guitar, threads on space, threads on video game, threads on dating and relationships. It's your space. You can decide what the hell you want to talk about. You can share your thoughts. You can share your love of firearms. It doesn't matter. Okay, you could talk about men, about what you've been going through. It's a community for men. It's our community, menwalkingaway.com. All right, I'm the creator of the MWA, the Men Walking Away movement, and this is something that I finally put together for you guys. So go and check it out. And it's built in such a way that it will keep the trolls out. So you'll see what I mean. It's built in such a way that it'll keep the trolls out, and you won't have to worry about it being co-opted because they just won't be able to get in. But that's all I have for you guys. What do you think regarding everything that we discussed here? I mean, guys, the honest answer is that men are being arrested for going outside. And what that means for society is that women will ultimately find themselves alone without providers and protectors and people who want to actually be there for them. And they're going to experience some of the greatest hardship that they could have ever imagined. But we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, Men Walking Away, and share.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.